We have the whole team here.
Okay.
They're in different places because I'm in a different room, so that's got me on my toes a little bit.
That's so funny.
Griffin is here to my left now, and he's standing. He's not sitting.
I love you, Griff.
I have your sweet peas here.
Hi, guys. Hi, y'all.
4, 5. There's
Love
6
y'all.
of them.
Love you guys.
Honk is with them.
Oh.
I have your family, your mom, Roger.
Hi, Uncle. Hi, Mom.
Carl.
Hi, Carl.
Grandfather on father's side.
Hi, Grandpa Paul.
He's waving. Who are you? You're a cousin?
Grant.
So
is it a man?
Cousin? It's a man.
Is it a man? Grant?
Just tell me yes or no. Yes.
Hi, I was wondering if you'd ever come. I love you.
He's just I don't even know what he's talking about.
We're all big talkers.
I can imagine.
That's our subject today.
A family meal with your family would be hysterical.
Yes.
Yeah, he's really happy to be here. He says he's been trying to get here, and then he went off on talking about something about the ocean.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's related. You can tell. Stay because you need to hear this, Grant, but I love you.
Okay. He's got I think it's a baseball cap in his hand.
Cool.
He's holding it by the bill.
Uh-huh.
Instead of the soft part.
Uh-huh. That's so cool.
We have 4 footballs.
Hi, guys. How are y'all doing?
Again, Griffin, they're doing fine. And these people back here are Team Extra from Camp Mary Jane.
Okay, Mary Ann. But you got my grandma and mother's name put together. My grandma's name is Jane, so that's good.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So funny.
Thank you, Griffin.
Okay, so hi, Griff. I love you.
He says hi. I love you too.
I hope I didn't embarrass you too much with Nipsey.
We're all sentimental. No.
Okay, so I want to address it, and I want to say I'm sorry that I overtalked to Jamie and to Conk that's been working on me with that, and everyone, and I didn't do listening. And I really want to know how to become a better listener. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. Because like I shouldn't be so scared to let someone talk. Like I was scared because first of all, I threw it on Jamie and you guys, I didn't, and he was there. So that blew my mind. And then I had been up all night researching him. I didn't know all that he had done. So I was way energetically amped to talk to him, like, and would he come or would he not come? And I wanted to tell the world everything he had done and not make him ask a million questions, being that I hadn't heard his mom speak at that time and how spiritual she was. And I would be mortified if I turned on the computer and I hadn't even laid Griff to rest and somebody was channeling and drilling Griffin. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted to just congratulate him on a life well lived. But he was clearly stronger than I thought, ready to talk. He would have, I think there's sitting off some chime in there or something. I'm hitting a button, but he was clearly, and Nipsey, I'm so sorry. If you come back again, I swear I won't say a peep. But, and now I feel totally different after seeing his mom talk. And the interview would have been totally, or talking to him would have been totally different had I seen her and known she'd be okay with this. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to hurt anybody any more than they're already hurting. That's all. So I'm sorry. And today's subject is how can we become better listeners? And if we could have you and I could have a private clue, and Jamie clue. It doesn't have to be private, but a word that y'all can say that it's not offensive or hurt my feelings, but it means it's time to listen now, Mom. Because I even got taught too much in school.
So their words that they've been shouting, all you have to do, Mom, is just shut it up, close that trap.
Okay. Close your pie hole. Conk, I'm sorry. I know you've been working on this with me.
I mean, it's been pretty funny.
I'm laughing. I know they're laughing. I know.
They
My
really like that
sister,
you're coming to the fact that you want to shift this way.
yeah, because I took a lot of heat this week. It's been a big growth week for me.
Oh, really?
Oh, the haters are out about me talking too much. But it's always the beautiful people that come to the front and say, the 5 people say something nice. And it was only a few people, but I'm so sensitive that it got to me. And I was like, when I watched the tape, when you watch yourself, like when you see a picture, you don't realize how fat you are till you see the picture. You're like, is that me in the picture? And I had that awakening already this year. And then now I have that I don't fucking talk too much. Like I don't listen. I can literally, you can talk and I'll just nod my head and I won't hear a fucking word you said because I'm all over the place.
You're busy inside.
Yeah, always.
Griffin says that we need to make it something very sweet and gentle.
Okay.
His vote is ladybug.
Okay.
I've gotten roller skates. Somebody say roller skates.
I like ladybug because I'm already off my roller skates. If I'm being reeled back in.
Griffin said, then let's keep it.
Okay, let's do it. Okay. So can we talk in general about how you become a better listener? Because I do have friends that we can talk on top of each other. And we've had long-time relationships and neither of us get frustrated and we laugh and kid. And my sister and I can do that and laugh and kid. And my family, I come from a group of talkers, so I'm used to it. Like silence scares me kind of like growing up. And in my marriage, I experienced a silent treatment and I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, how do you, I mean, I'm kind of throwing everything in the bucket to talk about. Like, just can you give us and me some tips on how to be a better listener? And what makes me get to that place where I feel like I'm not going to be heard, I guess? I don't know.
Your mom is speaking up and she said
Okay.
that every word that you speak is a gift.
Okay.
Imagine every word you're putting together is given to someone and it has value and meaning. That helps you realize how many gifts are you giving out, how many gifts are you receiving. That's a picture. Can you give words to that in my head? She's showing me a picture of, if you can imagine how many gifts you're giving out compared to how many that you are receiving, you can then help balance a scale, kind of a 50-50 as a starting point for somebody who is practicing listening. Because it's not about going silent. It's not about zipping it up.
Yeah.
Getting rid of your personality.
Right. I had people say, now don't not talk now, you know,
Yes.
and I'm hearing how much I'm talking even right now, and I'm a little self-conscious. Are you listening, Dill? Dill's laughing because it's he's an asshole. Because the arguments between me and him, can you hear him laughing, like belly laughing? Because he's like, you don't listen. It's so frustrating. Listen. Because I'll talk on top of it. And men in particular don't like it. Oh, look, he's coming down. He likes this subject.
What do you say? I can just hear him laughing.
Point. I'm proving my point right now. He said, I'm just nonstop. How do I stop? Help, you guys, I'm not talking. I quit.
She quits.
I wish y'all could see me, but I'm too fat to show my face. I'm dying laughing. Oh. He said, I'm saying I talk all the time, and then I'm talking all the time. Like I'm proving it. And Jamie, like last time, I think Nipsey was talking at you, and you have so much going on in the room, and I was talking over you, so it's got to get frustrating. So I got to learn this. It's important.
There's a lot of words in my head all the time.
Are there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm going at once because they're laughing. Like, I'm like, how much is this going on? Because, okay, no, go ahead, talk, because I had a story. Help me. Save me from myself. Okay.
She's got her arms in the air asking.
Come down because he likes this. He likes roast his mom day. Go ahead, guys.
Roast his mom day. Okay, well, there are several tips from everybody in the room. We're going to go back to your mom. she was discussing in listening. First, she wanted you to be aware of how many words you were speaking, get to the point. And because you have an active voice inside of your head, even while you're talking, like they both compete for space inside of you, that tell the active voice inside of your head, do they really need to hear this? Did they ask to hear this? And then once you realize you're saying something that wasn't asked for, then you can start to think out, would you like to hear this? I'd like to tell you more. Would you like to listen? And you can say yes or no. Like, I'm good. Being the presenter and being the talker doesn't mean that you're being accepted. A lot of the times people like to speak so that they feel that they're contributing and then they're being accepted where they are. So often it's happening because they have low self-worth, low confidence. They don't believe in themselves. That's another one I just heard that goes with confidence. They feel that if they're the ones presenting, then they have something to contribute. So it might show them, it will help, Griffin says, it helps a person show that they have intelligence or that they have something to say. Often that skill is built when they're little, when they didn't have anything to say, or they were more introvert. And the caregivers, no matter who they were, whether it was the teacher, the parents, or grandparent, kept saying, speak up. What do you have to say? Tell us something. Because that was praised to have something to say or have an opinion rather than to be quiet. So a lot of the excess that you hear today is derivative from that example. And Griffin says he's pointing the finger, okay, kind of at the family for constantly saying, well, what do you have to say? What's your 2 cents? What's your opinion? What's your this? They really didn't want to hear it, but they wanted to suck you into speaking too much, because then that meant they were going to get it resolved or get somewhere, where most of the time that didn't even happen because it was untethered talking. It wasn't to a point or it wasn't to resolution. It was just word vomit. I heard that one really loud. Word vomit. Got it.
I love that.
It's Griffin. He's doing the hands around the mouth. Word vomit.
Not to put any pressure on my dad, but I was raised by a philosopher, so everything was talked out. Like where you went to dinner, I know it was endless. Like it was great, but sometimes it doesn't fit in society. You know what I mean? Like I saw with Nipsey. Yeah, I feel bad. Like I hope he'll come back again.
Griffin thinks he will.
Okay.
With Griffin, he said what was cool about Nipsey is that he knew why he was speaking, and he didn't want to take anybody's time, like extra time. And so when he was done with the task at hand, he was ready to leave. And he said it was, Griffin for him said it was so cool because it was done in such a polite way, but very to the point. And he goes, I used to think those two things didn't go together. Like either you were really polite and you stayed and you gave too much and you took too much and you got overwhelmed and to be polite, or you were the dick that was like, fucking listen to me. This is what I'm saying. Now piss off. I'm done and leave. And those are the opposites. And Griffin said this man could just marry the two and was like, hey, I'm talking to you. Now I have your attention. Listen to my words. Now I'm done with my point. Do you have anything else? Thank you so much. Goodbye. It was just
right.
Like, it rattled. It
Griffin
rattled
knew. And Griffin knew with me being so sensitive what I was thinking, like, oh, holy hell, I ran him off.
He goes,
it crossed my mind anyways.
Griffin said a little bit, but he goes, to your point, what you were sharing was educating people. He goes, oh, come on now. But that's true. He goes, look who you're talking to. And he's pointing at me. He's like, she didn't know who this guy was. And he said, you were partly having a conversation with someone who was in the dark. He goes, not that easy. He's razzing on me for not being in, like, I don't know, aware of what's happening out there in the world. I am aware that Notre Dame burned yesterday, so I do get news.
Right.
My heart is like broken.
Right. Totally. I just saw that too.
Place. I love that place. But so he understood why you were talking about him,
Mm-hmm.
so that there was a point of reference of why you were asking certain questions and why you wanted him to be there. So that's no problem.
Right. Like this is the first time no one put Jamie down. They were like, God, poor Jamie. Like, and I got fried. I got some hits. I don't know if you've ever had haters like that, Jamie, but oh my God. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was kind of funny, Griff, too, because I write people letters like Kevin Hart or Cardi B was one of them until recently, but like to not bite against the haters. And then I did the same thing. I say, don't do that. Like, you don't need to do that. We love you or something. When he was there, Griff, I think he was already there, wasn't he, by Chris? And I was like, holy shit, he came. Like, that's how I felt. Like, and then I was just too amped, like almost like I was sharing a private moment with somebody, like I'm a stalker fan, you know, like, oh my God, you came.
It's quiet over here. They're listening to you.
I don't like that. I want to listen.
Griffin wanted to go back to the point of the parts of listening. He wants to call it the parts of a conversation. He can break down listening, but he likes the idea of a conversation because if you're speaking, most likely you're in a conversation. It's not just to a wall.
Well, I beg to differ, but yeah.
He says, everybody, my mom talks to herself in the shower.
I know.
She talks all the time.
I know. Right.
I'm trying to imagine that. Stop.
I'm sure everyone listening can't even grasp that. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you know there's other people out there. Like I sing in the shower. Is it the same as talk? No, he goes, nope, my mom talks to herself.
Right. Someone came to my defense that they do the same thing. They're working on it. Yeah.
So the parts of a conversation is not just listening, knowing what you want to say, and being able to read that extra part in the conversation, the gauge. Griffin's kind of doing this, the gauge of, is somebody really, really wanting to know what you're saying? Are they half invested or are they completely checked out? Because that energy has to be aligned with what conversation is being happening. And if it's not aligned, then conversation's not going to go. Doesn't work. If you're hanging out with somebody and the energy in the conversation will allow for those dramatic pauses for somebody to think, if that person can genuinely hold space, then those pauses aren't seen as deficient. Yeah. They're not seen as, oh, there's something wrong with this person mentally. Yeah. It is, wow, they're being extremely thoughtful. They're chilling out. They really want to get this done. Right. So if you're speaking with somebody who doesn't have that ability to hold your energy, hold the space for you to pause, then it's going to be this, what's wrong with you? Why can't you give me an answer? Is it because you really don't care? Is it because, and they start to come up with these hypothetical situations in their head that create doubt and tear the system down. And then when the answer really comes out, the person can't listen to it or comprehend it. Griff says because they're too busy being a dick about how long it took for that. And he goes, and I blame internet and I blame all kinds of game. You talk about games. I don't know those names. I don't play the games. Again,
the
sorry.
games that the kids play or whatever.
Sorry to the public that I do not play Fortnite and all those things where it's like an instant, like you have to stay on top of it and get the feedback right away. So we just trained ourselves that way. Because I really think we're in the process of training ourselves out of it.
I hope so.
Then when you say to mom about dealing with I'm going to quote unquote haters, Not that any disrespect for my mom calling them haters, but I just think that's giving them way too much credit and way too much power.
By calling them haters?
By calling them haters and whatnot.
Griffin says, I think everybody has the right to an opinion.
Free speech, absolutely, but you also have the right to just not listen.
Yeah, you have the right just to turn it off. It's really bothering you.
Yeah.
So he said, you really have to second guess when a person is remote, not face-to-face, anonymous, and is getting out there and tearing apart the material. What really does that person need? You know, he said a lot of the times, yeah.
Your brothers.
No. Keep on going because she needs to hear it again. Keep going.
He's talking, wait, I had to get him back up. When you can't be identified and you can't be traced, but you can go in there and lay down very low vibrational, very abrupt, against the grain of what the project is, whether it's listening to Griff's Gifts or whether it's going to a cooking class online, you know, it could be anything. And when they're going against it, a lot of the times it's not about being constructive and wanting to see things change. A small percentage is the narcissistic that says, I know how to do this and I could have done that a hell of a lot better than her. So I'm just going to tear her down so that I feel better because I'm not doing that even though I know I could do it. Because their follow-through game maybe sucks, or they don't know how to be in a public eye. They don't know how to be vulnerable or brave by posting things of themselves. Or it's the someone who doesn't know how to create energy from themselves, so they take it from others. And so they'll take it by creating these comments and creating these situations where you end up in arguments or headbutting. So how to receive that serve in this kind of a game is to acknowledge, yeah, that didn't work for you. Thank you for letting me know. Carry on.
Okay.
It's completely fine that they have all of this. And it's not going back and challenging, well, I'd like to see you do a better job, or I'd like to see you be in a hot seat where you've done the research and now you're meeting somebody that you didn't think you'd ever meet before. And how would that go for you? No, because it's not a competition.
Right.
You acted exactly the way you needed to act. You were very, very present in that last interview. Griffin loved it. So being
Thank you, Griff.
communication,
Uh-huh.
he says, I'm going to throw back and say that it's all about getting your needs met. That's why we speak. That's why we speak. If you're asking someone, hey, how you doing? And you really want to know, it's because you need community.
Right.
You have a need for their well-being. You're going to see if you can contribute.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just doing it because you want vomit of the mouth, but so many people aren't connecting to what their needs are. So they're vomiting at the mouth and boiling over because they haven't done the internal work.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom gets to do the internal work. He did this weird snappy thing. I don't know what it was.
Ladybug. It was growth week for talking. Yeah. And I appreciate y'all talking about it with me. And I did listen, I promise, and I have it on tape to keep listening and listening. And I started reading Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth, and what you're referring to. See, ladies,
she's sharing.
Okay, no, Griffin was speaking about the ego, like how the haters are responding because of the ego, is what he classifies it down to. That there's just diversity in the world before everything raises to the next vibration. Like they'll fight you. You know what I mean? Like what you're saying.
So is that what you read in the New Earth?
Yeah, kind of like you've got to break apart, like how I was hurt all week. Things kind of got to fall apart to come back together to rise. And I was hurt. I had a lot of tears over it. And I talked to Nipsey a lot privately. Talked again. And but
I'm just laughing.
Sure, I'm gonna knock his ass out. I brought him into the world. I'll take him out.
This
with me, okay.
This
but
is
I love you guys. Okay.
Me speaking.
Okay.
As Jamie, if we think about it, when we're talking, it's one of the easiest ways to move energy.
Right.
very, very easy. It's very easy to throw it out. It's very easy to receive it. So often talking is the easiest route to go. So when I hear you say there again, I'm talking it out or I'm talking about it, yay! There's
Right.
you be you.
Okay.
And if your words per minute are 1,000 and somebody else's is 2, so be it. No need to compare and contrast.
Okay. I love you guys so much.